Good morning, everyone. Today we're doing another That Film I Watched, where I look back at my films, my old reviews of films I watched, and rather than rewatching them, I'm just gonna get them off of my chest and hopefully not have to ever watch them again. Today we're talking about a film called 50/50, which I think was actually the last review I ever wrote before I gave up that website. So this film came out in 2011 and it stars Joseph Gordon-Levitt. This is kind of right before he broke out with like The Dark Knight Rises and Looper and shit. Seth Rogen and Anna Kendrick, who was also kind of on the peak of all the big things that she would be in. Which is crazy because it feels like all three, Seth Rogen, Anna Kendrick, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, kind of like hit their peak, but like, you know, I'm sure they're going to be in a lot of big movies in the future. There's never enough big films. So, 50/50 is a story of a man with cancer and has a 50/50 chance of living. And it's crazy because I just did my video for Funny People, which was a film about a guy who's probably gonna die, and it was kind of like, it's like as if Judd Apatow was trying to win an Oscar because he's trying to mix the drama and the comedy. And it's like, people say 50/50 is like the perfect half comedy, half drama, and this film was actually like 94 on Rotten Tomatoes. Much more likely to win an Oscar. If Oscars gave out like a bunch of nominations, I'm sure it would have gotten nominated. I don't think it was nominated, which is crazy. The fact that the Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg crew, who made fucking Superbad, is suddenly like Oscar running style film. Which, if you think about it, Seth Rogen and their crew, they have like they have the resources to make a movie like that, because usually these Oscar films, they have like only so many millions of dollars. They get the right crew, they make a story that's direct, usually like based off a certain time period. That's what these guys have. The second they focus on drama and actually have a good script and actually have a cast full of stars, then boom, they've made it. And yeah, if you think he's going to live, like that's kind of like this big, like, is he going to live? And it could have been like a flip. It's like a flip of a coin where the movie was heading, and you don't know if they're which direction they're going to take it, and it just becomes really special by the end. And it's kind of this guy, he's living a normal life, he doesn't smoke or drink, and it's like, you just got handed fucking cancer, and it's not fair, and life is not fair, and the people around him, it's like there's no empathy like that can reach another person. It's like life was giving him the shitty hand. His therapist, who's actually the love interest, it's literally her first person that she's dealing with like this. So she's on the job learning, and he's supposed to, like, that's his go-to person for all his problems, is a person who doesn't know what they're doing. And meanwhile, he's got his stoner buddy who's not super helpful in Seth Rogen, his dad who's, you know, medically not there, and his mom who basically he's trying to escape her grafts because they don't connect well, but she's his fucking mom, and she's trying to reach out for him, and he's like avoiding it when in all honesty he needs a fucking helping hand, but for some reason him and his mom just don't connect. And yeah, it's a high regarded movie for a reason. It was really interesting and really thoughtful, and by the end, like, it puts a smile on your face. It's one of those movies that, like, hits that like human part of filmmaking and just captures something really special. Each of the relationships are all really special, and despite all of that, it's also like really funny. I felt like it was a better drama than it was a comedy, but I think that was the more important story to tell than trying to be funny. It's more like it's a drama with Seth Rogen as kind of like this comedy background character. And like little bits, like there's these great scenes where he's like in the room with all the other cancer people, and they're pretty much all old dudes, and like some of them die off, and it's really sad. But there's this one who's like, "Do you want some cookies?" And he's like, "Nah." And he's like, "But there's weed in it." He's like, "Okay, yeah, fuck it." It's, which I love little things like that where it's like, hey, these people, I love any stories that are like, hey, these people that you think are just people are actually really fucking real, and you shouldn't just act like they're nothing. I love anything like that. It tells a real story about cancer, which is, it's a fucked up real thing, and it's not like a fucking movie. This is a movie where it's like, it's not a fucking fairy tale. But that doesn't mean that a happy ending can't happen. Anyway, I really like this film. It was really engaging and did a lot more than it needed to. And that's why I gave it an 8 out of 10, or a 4 out of 5 at least when I watched it. I think I would still stick with that. I know some people like it a lot more than that. Personally, that's what I thought of it. Let me know if you guys watched it, what you thought of it down below. And I think that's actually going to be it for today's video. And I would also, by the way, give it a soul badge of approval, obviously. I can't believe I forgot about that. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching as always. I'll see you next time, and until then, with that, I leave you.